So you're helping your partner heal through betrayal trauma because of something that you did. I've been supporting my partner's healing, but just yesterday I started talking about my feelings instead of hers outside of therapy, and I derailed. So let's talk about this. First of all, I want to thank you for your transparency. It is very difficult for men to be transparent on our platform because women are harsh critics, right? And judgmental because of a lot of the things that they are going through. But for a man to be vulnerable and show up with emotions like this is very commendable. And I understand your partner's point of view. I understand that she is going through PTSD. She is really struggling when we have been betrayed. And I don't know your personal situation, so I am assuming some of these things, but I'm just going to speak generically, okay? So I'm not necessarily speaking into your personal situation. But when women have been betrayed, it violates them mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually. It is a violation of all four things. And a lot of women will tolerate abuse or neglect in one of those four areas because at the end of the day, she's like, I have a faithful partner. So when the faithfulness, the trust has been broken in the relationship, everything crumbles. The foundation that she thought you both had has plummeted. And so as you're working to rebuild things, you're having to rebuild that entire foundation. And so for a lot of men, the pressure is on them because they are the ones now who have to rebuild that foundation. But as you are going through healing, you are in pain and she is in pain. And just because she is in pain does not mean that your pain is irrelevant. The problem is that a lot of people are not being given the tools to communicate through this process. And this is something that my husband and I help people with. I am not going to be able to explain how to do this on this video. But if you would like to, anyone is more than welcome to book a call with us, or we do teach how to do these things in the coaching group. But so many of these problems boil down to emotional pain and not communicating with the right verbiage. So your emotions are just as important. And I know that it feels like I need to be the good boy and I need to just always be good. I need to stay on that white horse. And you had said that your therapist suggested that you do this. I don't know if that's correct. I would push back a little bit on that to figure out why your therapist has said that, because to suppress your emotions is not being honest with your partner. Now, the way that you communicate it matters, and the honesty, the way that the transparency you communicate it is important. One tool that I can give here is that you can ask your partner, do you want honesty from me? Would you prefer I speak to someone else about this? And then give them the opportunity to decide. If she says yes, you can ask, are you in a green, a red, or a yellow space? A yellow space is proceed with caution. I could go up, I could go down, okay? If she is in a red space, and she says, I'm in a red space, okay, well, I have something important to say to you, but let's wait till you can come to a green space, and because I would really like to talk to you about this. I really want honesty and transparency in the way I'm feeling about certain things, or things I feel like I need to be honest with you about. If she says that she's in a green place, then you can both have that conversation. And sometimes you have to be able to handle your partner's big emotions, even if she's in a green space, that what you have said is triggering and it is difficult to process and swallow. So that her going into a spiral and being upset about what you said, ask her, is the relationship over? How are you feeling about this? What are you thinking? Are we okay? Because a lot of times men take a woman's emotions that are big and take it as a full rejection. I failed. I fell off the white horse. I made a huge mistake. What I did to her completely ruined our relationship. She's going to ask me for a divorce tomorrow. And that's not always the case. She may just be processing things and need some time alone to go and process what it is that you just said. I personally had to set a boundary with my husband that I didn't want to hear about the temptations that he had all the time, especially in the first year when he was struggling to get off the corn. I wanted him to have accountability partners, many of them. I wanted him to go to SAA. I wanted him to have a men's group where he could talk about those things. And there were times, though, that he wasn't getting the support he needed. There were times he couldn't just open up and talk and explain what he was going through. SAA, though, did help him a lot through that. His men's group did help him a lot through that. But there were times that he needed to be honest with me. And so I had to mentally come to a green space to do that. But that took work. That took a lot of work for me. It took me years of work to learn how to do that. It took me learning how to do tools like this and learning big words like this. And those are the things that we teach. So it took a lot of work. But I ultimately wanted to be a safe place for my husband and to listen and hear him. And he needed to be the person who was protecting our marriage and protecting my emotions and creating a safe environment for us, where he was pitching in as much in the housework as I was, where he was able to emotionally be there for me and I was emotionally able to be there for him. We became a team instead of being separate individuals, so to speak. We are still separate individuals, but we became closer and closer to where we are a team. So it takes work on both people to get to this point, but men's feelings should not be invalidated, and men do need a place to be vulnerable and honest with their partner. If anyone needs help with this, we can help you get to a point where you and your partner are able to communicate in a healthy way and hear each other's feelings and get to the other side of having not just saving your marriage, not just surviving your marriage, but and truly finding intimacy, trust, and joy back in your marriage.